we're going to be looking for car insurance, and car insurance, they always want to know where you live and obviously what kind of car you have. So we're just going to put that information right here so it's easy for us to find. If you go back to your apartment search assignment and find your address of the apartment that you chose, remember I told you to put in that chart, there's a place for addresses. If you recall, I was going to live in the Knox and Lagoon apartments. So the address is right here. So I'm going to put that right in here just so that I have it at my fingertips. Knox Avenue South, Minneapolis, Minnesota. And the zip code is 55408. Zip code is important, so please make sure that you have that on there as well. It's going to make things a lot easier in the future. So then look at your car search assignment, go back to it, it's right here. And you're going to put down what kind of car you got. So that's this first line right here. So for example, I, if you recall, got this 2016 Chevrolet Trax LT. Okay, and you are going to need all of that information. 2016 Trax LT. Okay, and now you are going to search for car insurance. You're going to go to whatever car insurance company website you like. You're going to have to do two so that we can compare the cost of them to see which one is a better deal for you. Some options are Progressive, Geico, The General, State Farm, Allstate, Farmers. They usually give online quotes. Most of these companies do. One big rule that you need to follow is that the year of your birthday should be 1994. And this is because if you put in that you are, 16, 17 years old, they are going to not give you a quote because they will want to talk to your parent. And so if we put in 1994, that puts us at about 25, 26. And that's kind of a good time to be getting car insurance. They give you kind of a nice deal at that time. So I'm going to just use Progressive here. Oops. Let's go back a page. So if you just go to progressive.com, for example, you'll end up on this page like this. And we just want auto insurance. Auto is the same thing as car, automobile. Put in your zip code. That's why I said that was important. Mine was 55408. And then hit get a quote. You don't need to add any of these other things. Just get a quote. And now they're going to ask you a ton of questions. Okay? It's all pretty easy. So if you put your name in, your address is going to be this address here for the place, quote unquote, that you're living, your new place. So 2901 Knox Avenue South, apartment 105. I just made that up. Minneapolis, and then that's the zip code. Okay, start my quote. Let's move on. Oh, I forgot my date of birth. Like I said, you can use your regular date of birth. Mine's September 2nd, but then put in 94 for the year. Okay. Now, okay, start my quote. And we'll wait. All right, so we're going to add a vehicle. So if we look back here, remember it was a 2016, oops, I forgot to put in Chevrolet. There we go. Chevrolet. So 2016 Chevrolet Trax. Okay. Body type. It was an SUV. This part's, you have to put these things in, but it's not quite as important. Our primary use is personal, so we're just going to go from work to school, to and from work or school, and then running around doing errands, that kind of stuff. Primary zip location is the place where you are going to be living. Own or lease. The answer to that one is finance. Okay, because that means that you are paying on it. You don't quite own it yet. you are paying payments on it. How long have you had this vehicle? You can say less than a month. Most of you are not going to have a car equipped with the snowplow, and most of them are not going to have a passive alarm. So you can just say no and no. And then we're done. Okay, we don't need to add another vehicle. We can just keep moving on. Drivers, they're going to ask, this is a few more questions about me. Female, single, highest level of education. Now this is going to be for those of you who are going to go to college or going to get additional training. You would want to put in what you would have. So you will either have a vocational trade degree for those of you who only need a 2-year degree. If you are going for a 4-year degree, you're going to have a college degree. Okay. Employment status, you are going to be employed. And then you could put in your title. So I am a teacher. And then they're going to ask you a bunch of stuff. Figure out what to put in for your occupation. Your social security number, not as important. That's just a random number right there. Primary residence insurance. You can just say no insurance. Have you moved in the last 2 months? No. If you say yes, they're going to ask you more questions. So just say no. We do have a valid license. Years licensed, you can say 3 years or more. No accidents and no tickets. Okay? No and no. Keep moving. Here we go. We're getting there. Nope, we don't need to add another driver. It's just me. And then we just review it and make sure, yes, that's my name. Yes, that's my birthday, blah, 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 blah. Continue. It's a little tedious, but it's not too bad. Do you have auto insurance today? Say no. Otherwise, they will ask you more questions. So just no to any question like this. Like, have you had insurance? Anything like that. Just say no. Do you have any non-autopilot? No. They are going to ask you for your email address. You can go ahead and just put in your school one. That's fine. Are all members of your household covered by health insurance? Yes. How many residents in the home? 1. It's just you. And how long have you lived at your current residence? You can say more than a year. Otherwise, they might ask you for your previous address. Continue. They will a lot of times ask you, like, if you want this steel, you can say no thanks, and then continue. You do not want a bundle, you can say no thanks, just auto. They always do that. They always want to sell you more. So just say no thank you. And then here's your quote. So 6 months package. So I can start my policy today for $56.82, but that is not the cost. You have to look at this fine print down here. Okay, that is your actual monthly payment. Okay, so the cost of the insurance is not this $56.82. That's just your get started rate. Your actual rate is this right down here. So mine would be $145. Okay, $145. I'm just rounding it from $144.74. I'm just going up to $145. Okay, so if I go down here, and I put in Progressive, that's the company name, and the monthly cost of it was $145. Okay, and then I would go on to another website. I would do the same thing. I would get a quote from, like, I don't know, Geico. Okay, and go through the whole process again. Yes, you do have to put in all the information all over again. But I'm only asking you to do 2. Previous years, I've had students do 3. and they really complained about it. So you're welcome. But I do want you to do 2 because I want you to actually compare and see the difference between them and try to get a good deal. When we're talking about budgeting, when we're talking about making the most of the money that we earn, we want to make sure that we're getting the best rates that we can on these types of things. Okay, so go through for another insurance company, and you can use whichever ones you want. I just used Progressive because it was first on the list, and they do have a pretty user-friendly website. So go through, do another one, and then out of those 2, tell me which insurance company do you choose to get insurance from. Okay, so I'm guessing it would be the one that's cheaper, but that's up to you. You may decide something different. All right,